Welcome to 𝐴𝑏OLT, and in this video I will tell you how to install 𝐴𝑏OLT Universal V2 magazine on your Cobra RX Adder or Cobra Siege. And in this video we will review the content of the package that you will receive if you order 𝐴𝑏OLT magazine. We will see how to install it on Adder and how to install it on Siege, and we will discuss differences if you set up your crossbow for long bolts or for short bolts. So if you have ordered 𝐴𝑏OLT V2 magazine to install it on Adder, in the package you will receive those items. There will be a magazine pre-assembled with all three Picatinny rails already assembled. There will be frontal parts that you need to permanently install here. I will show you in a minute. And then you will have bolt lockers for the long bolt setup, and also bottom Picatinnies, which I will show you later. And we will have the small item bag where you have everything that is required for the installation. We will follow up this later as well. If you have ordered 𝐴𝑏OLT V2 magazine for the Siege, then you will get slightly different set. You will still get the same magazine, but the frontal parts will be different. You will have bottom Picatinny rail and bolt fixators for the long bolt setup. Please note that both lockers are very similar for Adder and for Siege, but not identical, and I will show you difference later. And then you will get some extra items which you can optionally use for the short bolt setup, which we will review as we will try to install this on the Siege. So first let's install 𝐴𝑏OLT V2 magazine on the Siege, and let's get all the items out of the plastic bag. And here you will get hexagons. You will have two screws for side fixation of the magazine and the top screw for fixation of the magazine. You will have two anti-jammers, one spare anti-jammer, and you will have some screws for fixating of the Picatinnies in the front, which we will take a look later. So first thing to do, you need to remove this Picatinny rail, which is original single shot device here. You need to unscrew one screw on this side and another screw on that side and just remove it completely. Second thing, you need to apply the anti-jammer. To apply the anti-jammer, you should use sandpaper, slightly making surface rough of the anti-jammer and also the surface of this metallic part. Then you can use the optional glue, which might be included in your set. If not, you need to find similar some glue which you can apply, and you just apply a few dots here. Don't put too much glue so that anti-jammer fixates here permanently, but you can also easily replace it when you want to put the new one instead. So second thing, assuming you have glued the anti-jammer and it's in place, you put the magazine. You ensure that the side screws are collocated with the hole in the metallic part, and just put two side screws, one on this side and another on other side. Then you take this light screw and you should put it into the magazine, and you should find the hole hexagon, and you need to screw it all the way in, and you need to put another screw on the other side so your magazine is fixated. Please note, when you're applying the anti-jammer, please make sure that anti-jammer moving part is located behind this item. It should not go here. It should not go like this. It should go behind this metallic part. So in that case, string will be able to go below and everything work. If you will put like this, you might get some trouble. So put it correctly. When you screw in the side screws, don't apply too much force, so you don't break the plastic. Apply reasonable amount, so if you feel that screw is already fixated, don't apply too much power. It should not be applied too much power. When you have fixated the magazine, the rear part, by 3 screws, 1 top screw and 2 side screws, your magazine is fully functional for the short bolts. So you can load those bolts, and you can shoot with such crossbow immediately. But prior to that, of course, you need to perform the check for the vanes, and this will be described in a separate video. Please find this instruction. This is about ensuring that bolts are falling freely down, but this is covered in a separate video for previous version magazine, but the steps that you need to follow are the same, and it's very important that you make those checks so you use this equipment safely. So when your bolts are in and you ensure that those are moving freely, those are not vanes are not catching the sides of the magazine, just assemble the top blocker and you're good to go. If you are using any custom bolts which fits in and you're happy with how the vanes interact with the magazine, but then make sure that those are not shorter than original bolts. In neither case, sharp parts of the bolt should catch the string. So in this case, this part is not sharp, so it works pretty well. And on some of the video I also showed you aftermarket bolts, which also are long enough and can be used in this setup. What should you do if you want to use long bolts? So for long bolts, as you can see, it's pretty well fixated in the rear part, but it's not enough fixated in the front. So for this one, we need to put the bottom Picatinny rail here. And this bottom Picatinny becomes a basis for the bolt locker. We apply the same or similar detail on other side, and we also apply the bolt lockers here. So how we fixate them? We have a screw, and we put this screw in on both sides, and you can use fingers to screw it in, but also to make it fixated later, you can use the hexagon as well, putting it in the top here, just to make sure that everything is fixated well. But what you need to do now, you need to put in enough bolts so you can adjust correct width of those lockers, so those kind of fixate enough bolts, but not too tight. So the only thing how you can do it is actually put some bolts in, or actually 8 bolts as designed. Okay, now you have 8 bolts in, and now you need to adjust the fixators. First thing you want to achieve is to put the bolts somewhere in the middle, and second, you don't want this space to be huge, but you still want some kind of 1/2 millimeter on both sides to be free, so the bolts can move freely. And then when you're happy with position of the frontal locker, then you just fixate the screws, and then you do the final check. The bolts should move freely. If those are catching and not falling free, then you need to again release the screws and repeat the procedure, probably making this hole a bit, this space a bit wider. So now you're done, and if you are going to the range, you can use this hexagon to slightly fixate the screw, but again, don't apply too much power. So that's how fully loaded and ready to be cocked crossbow looks like. So first of all, this locker is located in this position, so it's covering from the top, and then your top locker is assembled and positioned on the bolt. That's ready position. So now let's see why we need all those details, and I will show you how you can set up your crossbow to leave those Picatinny rails and use a short bolt setup without bolt lockers. So to set up short bolt setup on the crossbow, you need short bolts, of course, and you need those items which are included in the set. So first thing to do, you rotate the bolt locker in the front and you disassemble the top locker in the rear part. And you just get all the bolts out and put short bolts in and remove this part from here. Also another option would be to have additional Picatinny rail at the top, but in this case you cannot use this screw which you used for the bolt locker. You should use the plain screw which is included in the small item bag. You just put it in and you can use the hexagon to get it all the way down, and just what I want you to be sure about is that you check that this guide is kind of located correctly against the bottom part. So if you did this, so you can also put both Picatinny rails on both sides, or you can put just those lockers on the both sides, so depends on what you want to achieve. And after that, you just need to put the short bolts in the magazine, as much bolts as you need. With short bolts also you can put 8 bolts, and then you just assemble the top locker. You are ready to go to the range. And finally, when you are done, you have everything assembled, I want you really to check the vanes, and I want you to check how freely your bolts are moving in the magazine, because it's very important that you don't get the dry fire. The bolt is always falling in the rail at the right time, so please check additional instruction how to check vanes and how to reposition vanes, whether it would be required, but in most cases you don't need to do anything except just to check that you are safe. To prepare your RX Adder for UPBOLT magazine installation, first you need to unscrew this screw on the side and remove the original magazine, and also you need to remove those original Picatinny rails which are originally fixated by 2 screws. So remove those and put somewhere in a safe place so you don't lose those. Take the package content. There is a magazine and those side Picatinny rails which we just install in a second, and also there is an optional Picatinny rail which you can have at the bottom as well if you like. Also bolt fixators and the small item bag with a bit different content than for Siege. We will have those screws for fixating those Picatinny rails permanently on the crossbow, and you will have additional screws for those bottom Picatinny rails, so you can put it here if you need. So first let's install the magazine. Same as for Siege, you need to put the anti-jammer first. So you can glue it. You can use either included glue, which is optional, or you need to find your own if your set is not containing the glue. What you need to do, you need to use the sandpaper to make this surface rough on the metallic part a bit, and also a few strokes on the anti-jammer, and apply few dots of the glue. I don't recommend to make it all covered by the glue because it's not required. You might need to replace anti-jammer after some time. It will be easier to remove it. Also, it's important that you put this item which is moving behind this metallic part, not in front of this, but behind the metallic part, so we will have no issues with the string. And when you glue the anti-jammer in the place, let's pretend I have glued it, but I will remain it without gluing, and just you put the magazine. So to fixate the magazine, same as on Siege, it's absolutely identical procedure. You need two side screws. Put it here and on other side, and this top screw, top screw should be located here, and you need to screw this top screw all the way in, and you need to screw this screw. And when you screw the screws in, please make sure that you don't apply too much power. When you feel that screw is in and it's resisting, stop it, otherwise you might break the plastic. Be gentle. To install the Picatinny rail permanently, you will need the tool which is not included in the set, a cross screwdriver to screw in those screws. So what you need to put both screws in and position it here and here. Because those are not real holes for the screw, you need to position against this hole and against this hole, and screw it in once and forever on both sides. Now let me make a remark here. This replacement is optional in case if you plan to use this magazine only with short bolts. If you plan to use it with long bolts, so better replace those Picatinny rails as well. And then it will be very fast and easy to install bolt lockers for the long bolts. And if you don't need those, you can just remove those and go with this setup. So now let's take a look on this. So you can put additional Picatinny rails here. For example, if you want to adjust bipods or whatever, so just a nice option. If you don't need it, you don't install it. You can install it on one side, you can install it on both sides. I will show you how to install it on both sides. So you take the screw from the set, you put the screw from the top, and you put it inside here, and you screw it in. Use the hexagon tool to screw the screw in, but again, be gentle. As soon as you feel that screw starts resisting, stop applying power and don't break the plastic. So now let's load it with short bolts. So as you notice here, this top locker is can be separated into parts, and then you can put the bolts here. You can use speed loaders indeed, and at the moment we are working also for speed loaders for long bolts, but probably if you are watching this video after some time when it was captured, so we might already have it. So just check our bolt site and see if it's already provided. So now you just assemble the top locker. There is a magnet, you can see, and the magnet is fixating it, and put it on the bolt. So now it's ready for use for the short bolt setup. Now what if you want to use it with long bolts? If you want to use it with long bolts, indeed you want to get out the short bolts, and let's try to put the long bolt here. And as you see, it's fixated very well at the rear part, and still it might be not perfect fixation at the front, right? So to solve this, we will use the bolt lockers on both sides, same as we did it for the Siege, and you use this screw with this plastic item around it, so you can quickly rotate it without any hexagon. And the hexagon should be used just to finally fixate the screw. Again, be gentle, don't apply too much power. For me it's actually enough to fixate it by fingers, but if you want to be double sure, you can use the hexagon. Again, so much as you feel resistance, you just stop it, yes, and then you don't break anything. And when you just want to adjust the space between the bolt lockers, you need to put all the bolts in. Let's do it. Okay, so we got 8 bolts into the magazine, and now we need to adjust the location of this frontal fixator. Make sure that it's located in the middle, and make also sure that you have like a bit of space on both sides of the bolts, so they can kind of freely move up and down, but do not fluctuate too much to the sides. So I would say half of the millimeter of both sides would be perfect. You can repeat this if you are not happy. So let's try with such space. So I have half a millimeter on both sides. And what I want to check when I screw the screws all the way in, I just want to make sure that bolts are freely traveling. So here I feel that something is catching, so I release one of the screws and move it slightly to the side, and then I repeat, and now I'm happy. So if you are not happy, for example, with moving sides, you can repeat it and so get the way you like. When you are done, you just lock this locker and you put the top locker. Again, you assemble it with the magnet and you put it on the top of the bolt. So now you are ready. Before you go to the range, indeed you must check the vanes. That's covered in the separate video for the old magazine. The idea is to check that vanes are not catching the magazine body and that those are correctly positioned, and you have some tolerance because vanes are not perfect. You might use third-party bolts, so always check and be safe. Okay, now we got bolts into the crossbow. We have everything installed, and now I want to give you a small tip how you work with long bolts. So it actually matters the sequence which of the lockers you unlock first. So if you will unlock this one, you will let the bolts kind of move freely, and it might be hard for you to unlock this one. So always what you do, you first unlock the front locker, and then it kind of guards the bolt in the right position, and then you unlock the rear locker. And if you lock it all back, so first you lock the rear locker, and second you lock the frontal locker. So it's easy: front, rear to unlock, rear, front to lock back. So it will be very convenient. If you are interested more in safe techniques, how to work with the crossbow on a range, so please see following video after this video with some interesting advices which you might value. Thank you for watching.